Why are there so many ho-ohs? Basically, you can pay 4K channel points to put a sprite on the screen, and one person was like, "Oh, put another shiny ho-oh," and then everyone thought it was funny, so they just kept redeeming more ho-ohs. I mean, combined in just ho-ohs, people have spent like a good like 60,000 channel points just to put ho-ohs on screen for this. 2306. There's a yeah, someone redeemed a Digimon. I didn't say like it has to be Pokemon, and someone was like, "Wait a minute," but it has to be a sprite, and not all Digimon have sprites. I don't want to really put a 3D model. If it was like a Habibi, what's up? Um, yeah, it's like a Pokemon 3D model, then I'd be like, okay, but a Digimon 3D model, I'd be like, let's dial it back. You're from Indonesia, that's cool. I've had a few people from Indonesia stop by. Someone taught me a couple Indonesian words, but I forgot them. 2296 for Boons. Hey, what's up, Boons? Thank you for the luck, gamer. I've had coffee from Indonesia, but usually from Bali. I will say, no offense, it's just not my favorite region for coffee. Just Southeast Asia generally. I think something about the soil. And I think the wet hole processing is the main thing. Because one time I had a non-wet hold uh, Indonesian coffee, and it was one of the best coffees I've ever had. I mean, you remember that coffee that tasted like peanut butter and jelly? You remember that one? We took it over to the house for your parents to try. Back at the family thing. It was like, what was that? Like a year ago? A year and a half ago, too? Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago. It was the last thing, so I guess it was a year ago. But it tastes like peanut butter and jelly. Bro to Indonesia? What game is this? Pokemon Gold. I had the lime black cherry Nixie sparkling today. It was so good. Where's this? I haven't seen this Nixie. Might be a regional thing or something. Maybe. Because I look. Trust me. I look. I scour those sparkling waters. And at 3 grocery stores, I haven't seen anything like that. 4 grocery stores, actually. Five grocery stores. And I've never seen that. Trains from Mass. Store finder on the website. What a city. I'm not going to say what city we're in, but I'll check it out. Amazon, they have it at Kroger. Yeah, the closest store with it is very far. Like an hour. Yeah, we're looking at like an hour. But I could order it on Amazon. It's at like $7. Maybe I'll look at ordering some on Amazon. We'll check it out. Deactivated accounts for 2 people. I like it. Today it worked. Oh, unlucky. I really struggle with that. Sometimes there will be someone that I trained, and then I have to... That actually happened today. I have to, like, coach them on something. And it's, like... It's every time it's almost like they're really embarrassed. Because, like... I don't know. When I train people, my strategy tends to be to demolish their confidence, right? A lot of the time I'm getting people that have worked at other call centers and they have like an ego about stuff, and it's like there's a reason that they are working here and not like at another call center. And a lot of the time I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's like an ego thing, and then they like get used to how they do things and they're like, well, this is the best way, and they just kind of get in their way about things. And so my goal with training is to absolutely demolish their confidence, right? It's basically like on the Dunning-Kruger chart, you know, how you have like the peak of lack of knowledge but confident at the same time. Like I want to get them to the valley of despair, and before I'm done with them. I don't want that to be a week after I train them or 2 weeks or never. I don't want that to happen. I don't want them to think like, it's not that the job's hard, it's that there's just a lot to learn, and there's a lot of things that you can, like, there's a high skill cap, right? So it's an easy to learn, hard to master job. And yeah, so because I'm trying to break down their confidence and like kind of get them thinking in a fresh way about what we do, so that they're not carrying over bad habits from their other jobs, I have very high standards. Like when they mess something up, like I tell them every detail about how they messed up. And some people are like, oh, you got to give them like one little thing to work on, and like you don't want to make them feel overwhelmed. No, I want them to feel overwhelmed. I want them to feel helpless, at least for a little bit, and then for there to be a glimmer of hope. You know what I'm saying? It just works out better. What ends up happening is you get people that like are asking a lot more questions and are a lot less confident, and sometimes people perceive that it's like, oh, well, so they weren't taught this and they didn't learn this, and it's like, no, they learned it. It's just that if I didn't break down their confidence, then they would have not asked a question about that in the first place and just done the thing wrong. I proved that too, because someone else trained, because they have me doing a bunch of stuff, and someone else trained, and like nobody from the class was asking any questions, and it was like, oh, it must be because they're so confident. And I went through and I looked, and it was like every single call, like massive mistake, massive mistake, massive mistake, massive mistake, massive mistake, on top of massive mistake. Like everything you could possibly do wrong on the call, they did wrong, and they said nothing. They weren't questioning it because they were confident. They were just like, oh, okay, I'm sure it's fine, you know. And it's like, would you rather have someone who is quietly incompetent or someone who is needy? And I would rather have someone that's needy, that's like, this is like, there's a lot to learn, like, please tell me what to do here. Hey, you went over so much stuff, I forgot, my brain's overloaded. Like, I would much rather have that than have people that are like quietly incompetent, I think is the best way to put it. It was good, not hour drive. Good though, yeah, no. My range of like how far we'll go for even like food is like a lot shorter than most people. Like some people are like, oh, if it's a really good restaurant, I'll drive 25 minutes. And it's like, it needs to change my life for me to drive 25 minutes. You know, it needs to change my life. Like I need to be going to Nobu or something. But yeah, because I show those really high standards, I think that like when I do have to like coach someone on something, they're like embarrassed. You know, they're like if they're like talking to another person, they're just like I feel like they perceive that differently. And I have trouble giving them like harsher feedback, I would say, uh if they seem like they were doing well when I trained them, like if they seemed like they were catching on and they were like picking stuff up and they were paying attention and stuff like that. Yeah. I would drive an hour for a restaurant easily. Maybe it's because I grew up in rural New Hampshire. There wasn't a lot of options close by. Yeah, that'd make sense. To me, too, I just, like, I can appreciate really good food, but, like, I can also, like, get close to as much enjoyment out of, like, more staple, like, nearby options. You know? I feel like I've always been able to. Like, as much as I'd appreciate, you know, like, a Michelin dining experience, and I specifically, I think I have a more favorable view on, like, high-end restaurants and like good food and stuff like that than most people. I think a lot of people are just like, I just want a slice of goddamn pizza with a bunch of cheese and a bunch of sauce, and I'm like, oh no, I would like, you know, good pizza with like good crust and like well balanced and stuff like that. You know, yeah, I would like that. I would go out, you know, out of my way for that to a certain degree, but I just have like a very quick hard cap on how much I'll go out of my way. Hey, what's up, puppy? Hey, doing okay? We're doing all right. The worst feeling too is when I train someone and they're good, and then I see that they're like call avoiding. That's just like, you know better. Like, I tell them too, like, because we're a smaller company, like, and the systems that we use, we kind of have to like piecemeal things together. We have to like, you know, it's just like a little finicky. There are ways that you can like potentially not take a call, and then it's harder for us to figure it out. Now, if I suspect that someone is call avoiding, I absolutely 100% can figure it out. But the thing is, I have to go out of my way to look. We don't have any kind of automated system picking it up. And we have a lot of people taking calls. And we have a lot of things that look similar to it, and not a lot of people... There's one other person at the company that I think can really discern when something is call avoidance. Without, like, falsely accusing someone. And, yeah, so, unfortunately, when it gets found, a lot of the time it's me, and it'll be someone I trained, and I'll just be like, I'm just so disappointed, you know, like, it's not, the thing is, it's not like a great paying job and there's no benefits, but at the same time, like, it's just really low stress and really easy. It's like a trade-off, and it's very flexible when it comes to schedule and stuff like that, and I think those trade-offs are almost worth it, you know, and it kind of depends on the person. Like, at the place where I work, if you have like kids and you end up needing to take days off frequently because they have doctor's appointments, or I have to go to their play, or, oh, you know, I need to take a week off for this and that. Like, we basically let people have unlimited time off. It's not paid, but like we're not demanding that you be there for 40 hours a week every single week, you know, like most jobs. People can work a range of hours and then they can change their schedule when they need to. Oh, it's summer and I have to go pick up my kids from summer school, so like I need to work a little bit earlier and then get off a little bit earlier, or like I just need to shorten my schedule on these days. And it's just like 100% we'll just let anybody do that at pretty much any time within reason. And it's very low stress. Like it's just not stressful, depending on what makes you stressed out. Because like there's sometimes like slow systems you have to deal with and stuff like that, but to me it doesn't really stress me out, because I'm like, well, if I get a complaint that this call took too long or something, or like what were you doing at this time, I'll be like, your system's slow, and that's it. Like I have a defect, so it's not something that stresses me out. But some people, it stresses them out because they just don't understand that it doesn't really fall on them, you know. LM back on the grind again. That's right, we missed yesterday. I was resting. I almost took today off too to rest more. I've had this weird kind of medical thing, and it's felt like I haven't been getting better. But after just like, it's very hard for me to like not do anything. You know, like I like to just chill and not do anything, but at the same time, it's very hard for me to just like do that for like 8 hours straight. You know, just not do anything. I have to get up and go do something real quick, and then, you know. Rest is important too, yeah. The thing is too about the call avoidance stuff is like, I would get if it was just like you think you can get away with it and like get a slap on the wrist, but like no, we'll just fire you for that. Like you can't just like avoid taking calls. And what happens too, and the reason it's a bigger deal is because when someone avoids taking a call, that call doesn't get taken. It's not like it goes to someone else. That's not how it works. It's not like, oh, well, I just spent a lot of the day like not getting a call. It's that you diverted a call in a way where it didn't get to anybody, or we responded to them very slowly after, you know. Health above all else. I worked at a security system call center for a bit. It was demoralizing. People would be angry like 70% of the time. It was back-to-back calls the whole shift. Yeah, it's like the opposite of that. I've been working at call centers for like 13, 14 years now. And the reason I like this place so much is because it's just like the opposite of that. Like there's a bunch of time in between calls. And as you stay for longer, you get more responsibilities, and that means you could get more calls. But even then, like most of the year, it's like a minute or two between calls, and none of the people that we really talk to are mad, almost ever. They're just not. It's just people who want to schedule appointments for stuff like, oh, I need to replace my roof, or oh, I want to remodel my bathroom, or whatever. And so it's just very low stress in that regard. And then we're super flexible on how much time like we give people during their shift. So like if you work like a 6 or a 7 or an 8 hour shift, you get a 15 and a 30-minute break that are paid as part of your shift. I hate having to take unpaid lunches where they're like, oh yeah, no, your shift starts here and ends here. And it's like, okay, so why is that an 8.5 hour shift? Oh, for 30 minutes of it, you have to just not work and you don't get paid for it. And you have no choice. Like, I hate that shit. I always hated that shit. At every job I worked, I always hated that because just more of my day is getting taken up. We had to clock out to go to the bathroom. Yeah, you wouldn't have to with what we do. Nobody has to. So we people get paid if they do that. And also, you can pretty much, while you're taking calls, you can log out pretty much whenever you want for up to 10 minutes outside of your 15 and your 30-minute break. And there's a overall metric of how long you're logged in per week relative to how long you're supposed to be logged in. And as long as you stay at a reasonable percentage, you're good. And it's very hard. You have to be like trying to abuse the system to you know, get reprimanded for that. And even then, the reprimand's not that big of a deal. When outside of those rabbits, I wasn't moving for 10 minutes, then it bolted when I was 20 feet away. Sounds right. My work has paid lunch breaks. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Paid lunch breaks, yep. In this economy, yep. That's the thing. That they understand, like, hey, we're not giving you medical, you know, we're not giving you like pay time off and stuff like that. We're not giving you dental. We're not giving no child care benefit. Nothing. You work and you get paid your paycheck, and that's it. But as a kind of a makeup, they're like, okay, well, what are other ways we can make it beneficial to work here? So I work as a cook, so I just get food. Not a bad benefit. I need sparkly. Do a walk away. Quick walk away for the sparkly. Was it Toka? Chef decides what the staff eats. The family meal. My name's Chef. Have you seen Chef? Lunches are paid, but benefits are well. Yeah. That's more normal. It's like, hey, you get medical. You get medical insurance. I think that's better, but like, at least there's like a little something to make up for it. Meltan Pog? Huh? Did you get the Meltan thing? Oh, Ellen, thank you for the bits. Moon's badge? Oh, hey. It is the Meltan badge. You were showing me. Some live Pokemon Go New York stream going on right now. Badge for sub. Hey, any primers? According to the payslip, my work gives me 3.6K in employer paid benefits per paycheck every 2 weeks. Sheesh. Yeah, that's insane. I've been looking at the stream for a while. I've noticed it's not like any of the Mr. Beast videos I've seen. Is this chat a console I can type commands into? Great question. Yes. Is there an exclamation point, Matt? There's not. I thought there would be. No backflip. $11.60. I've never even heard of that one, Goofy Streamer Dance. I hope your heart can handle that. I think it'll be alright. It's been feeling better since I rested yesterday. Hadn't had a good day of just like laying and doing nothing. I still got up and made dinner and got water and stuff, but just like no sitting. It's like sitting specifically gets me. I'm not sure why. Or, I mean, laying on my back too for an extended period also gets me. But yeah, laying on my like side and then especially my stomach just makes me feel better. Wacky Goofy. That is my phrase. I do say Wacky Goofy. Little Wacky Goofy. Goofy. I'm always on an emulator. Yeah. Always an emulator, Eric. I have this Game Boy and I can shiny hunt on Pokemon Gold on that, but I don't really do that. I got a shiny Cyndaquil on there, so that's cool. Wow. Why does the Zelda music feel so loud? Am I wrong? Just this song is like really loud. You never even load onto it for nostalgia? Yeah. I got the nostalgia up here. I did when we went to Amy's parents for Christmas last year. I brought it, and that's when I got Cyndaquil. Seems like kind of looks like a massive GBA. Yeah. Very similar in form factor. I'm sure you could set your Steam Deck up to play Pokemon games, so I'm gonna say it counts. Did you ever share your OG Pokemon save files? I love looking back at those. I don't have anything like that. This Game Boy and this Silver Amy got for me. I don't have any of the stuff I had as a child. We moved a lot when I was a teenager, and well, when I was a kid too, but when I was a teenager, we especially moved a lot. And I lived a very like after that, when I was an adult, I lived a very like what's it called when you like move across the land, but you don't stay anywhere permanently. What is that term? Why can't I remember it right now? My brain's not working. Nomadic, yes. I lived a very nomadic lifestyle. So I didn't drive. The places that I worked, I always lived really close to, and I would walk to or bike to. Actually, I only really biked my first job ever, and then I started walking. My bike got stolen. And yeah, and then I moved a lot, and because I moved so much, or I just knew I could move at any time, because I moved when I was a teenager, I had a tendency to not have many things, and I've kind of kept that with me. So much stuff I need to sell, get rid of. Yeah, like this is since I was like a child, this is the most items I've had. I got my coffee stuff and a few knickknacks, like, and that's really it. Very minimalist on the things that I have. Yeah, as a consequence, I don't really have anything from my childhood or anything like that. I mean, everything here I've gotten since I moved here to be with Amy. I didn't have anything prior to that. When I moved here, I brought my clothes and my computer. That's it. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I was tempted to do the Paris hunt tonight because we didn't do it yesterday. I just wanted to knock out some hours on it, but I'd like to get this Ho-Oh. I'd like to keep up the streak of getting shinies under odds in this game. Get it knocked out. If we were to get Ho-Oh right now, I actually do know what hunt we would do next, which is very rare. But I've already kind of looked through the region and figured out like what needs to be done, because we did a lot of hunts around everywhere. So I won't spoil it though. I won't spoil which one we would go do. I have my foot. Get this bad bird out of here. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I think when you move a lot, like when I was a teenager and as an adult, when you like know that you could move at any time, I think you tend to not cling to things and you tend to not invest in things for yourself. You tend to want to travel light. Spooky. Have a good lurk. Spooky. That was Goofy saying spooky. Spooky. That was Obama saying spooky. It must bring some grief to not have much consistent, especially from your childhood. You know, honestly, kind of morning an iPod I had as a kid, I'd like never get back into. You know, I think because I just pretty much never clung to things. If anything, it's like a bit freeing to not feel weighed down by things. Like if you wanted to like leave wherever you were at any given time, like you could go and you wouldn't really be leaving much behind, you know? Like, I think that's just a more freeing feeling. And so I've just, and it's probably out of nurture. Like, I probably was taught this. So who knows, I could be wrong, but like, I feel like I've just never, I'm not even the type of person to have emotional attachment to objects. Like, I'm just not much of a picture person. Like, I don't need there to be pictures of, like, if me and Amy go and do something, like, I don't really care that there's a picture, you know? I got the memory up here. I remember. You know, a picture's a nice little memento, but it just doesn't mean, it doesn't have that much significance to me. And same with physical items, you know? Like, this Game Boy, if anything, this Game Boy, I just like it because Amy gave it to me, you know? I had the same one when I was a kid, and I dropped it in the toilet, and it broke. And my silver cartridge that was in it stopped saving. It still worked, so the Game Boy stopped working. Silver worked, but it wouldn't save. I told Amy that story, and she got me it. Like a throwback to it. I kept so much, my partner has kept almost zero. We have different traumas about it, holding on to the past too closely. She wished she had more of a connection to who she was then. I think that picture of us on a roller coaster is more important to me because it was early in the relationship. Yeah, and I understand the attachment to photos too that other people have. I just don't have it. It just doesn't register that way for me, you know. I'm just a very in the moment person too. You know, I think you think about the future and the past a lot, and I just am really like day by day. If we went right now, I'd buy it, but it feels weird to think about. But every time taught me that childhood teddies are magical items. Sure. I didn't have any stuffed animals. I had a blanket, though, that I called BB. That's the only thing I remember. BB. B-E-B-E? B-E-E-B-E? What was it? A sheep? B-E-B-E. BB the Blanky. That's right. Thinking back, that also makes me wonder, who would I be if I didn't watch, like, 500 hours of Barney and, like, 500 hours of Mr. Rogers when I was a child? Mr. Rogers was my goat. Like, what can I say? PBS was all I had as a kid. For a while, that's all I had, yeah. Low stimmy education. Yeah. Yeah, me too, until I was like 10? 9? Oh yeah, cyberspace. Wait, cyberspace. Cyber chase. Cyberspace. Cyber chase. You talking about the one with the bird? Was that cyber chase or cyberspace? I don't remember. I think it was cyber chase. Makes sense though, because cyberspace is like a phrase. Yeah, I think it was cyber chase. Oh, you have Cyber Chase. Yeah, with the bird, and they were doing math and stuff. Yeah, you have Cyber Chase. Gilbert Gottfried was the fucking bird. What the hell? What the hell? Yeah. I didn't even see your messaging. I just saw it just now, but that's the first thing I saw when I looked up Cyber Chase. It was like, Gilbert Gottfried was the bird. Like, what? I don't remember it enough to remember the bird talking and it being Gilbert. That's the only reason you know who he is. What the hell? He was on Apprentice. Makes sense. Next one told me Norm Macdonald was the villain. Wait, was he? Is that what you're saying? Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd was in it. That's, you know, Doc from Back to the Future. He was the hacker. They did something similar with We Bare Bears, where I feel like showrunner saw the audience was lower, decided they should lean into it. Norm from Fairly Odd Parents. Wait, what? He was a rare character. Norm the Genie. He was a recurring antagonist. Trapped in a lava lamp made of smooth. Constantly hatches plans to gain his freedom, get revenge on Timmy. Voiced and named after the late Norm Macdonald. His first voice actor. Age 50,000. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Yeah, Norm was definitely in Fairly Odd Parents. Jesus, why is this so?
I'm a swinging G-E-N-I-E. Ah, hey, let me tell you what that spells to me. That I'm shut in a lamp that's cold and damp. And the wishing power stops at 3.
That's Norm. He can sing, I guess, a little bit. Sparkly Crusher. I need sparkly. I'll be right back. I'd probably pee while I'm up too. I'm gonna do that real quick. Mirror mom daughter streaming Mario Kart. Yeah, Amy was watching that. Amy was watching. Excuse me. Came out of nowhere. That's her goat. He had Seer Assist on. Not a real gamer. Can we cancel him? I'm getting the toilet longer ready right now. No drifting. Bro has not seen Tokyo Drift. I will say something funny. I've seen Tokyo Drift at least 100 times. And the reason why is that at one point we moved somewhere without internet and I just had a DVD player and then like I had a few DVDs. One of those DVDs was Live Free or Die Hard and I watched that movie like 200 times. At least. But then we had Tokyo Drift too and I watched it at least 100 times. At least the nice thing about Shining Onion Gen 2 is that DVs are always really good. Yeah, it's not a bad DV spread for sure. Not great though. Not great. I mean, so we got okay. So yeah, I mean they're 10 across the board, and then attack could be 15, and the HP doesn't matter. If I'm not mistaken. Wait. Oh, and then the HP will be 0 or 8 on our shiny. So 8 or 0. So it kind of depends on that, but 10's not bad though. Not bad. What's up, Diesel? I guess that's so. With it being 10, it's the equivalent of IVs being 20. Most of the IVs being 20, and then the attack could be whatever. That's pretty good. Is this song actually at 17 hours? Feels like 1700. Yeah, we've done a lot of short streams with it, so it feels like it's been going on for a while, but like we're only doing like 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. So a lot of the streams for this have been 2 hours too, specifically. Praying mantis on the window. Yo, don't let him get the spider. You've never seen one before, really? 36 hours. Very fast. Very fast soft reset. Yeah, praying mantis, but we don't know which god he's praying to. You know, could be the Judeo-Christian god. Could be a Hindu god. Could be Cthulhu. Could be the Dark Lord. What's up, Maxim? Who God believes in themselves, are they very confident or also religious? Let me ask you this: if you were to believe that a god existed or multiple, would that make you religious? Just to just believe that they existed, would that then be religious? Because to me, religion is a structure of worship around a deity as opposed to the belief it's in and of itself of that the deity exists. So I'm gonna say doesn't have to be either. Yeah, because interestingly, what Judeo-Christian religions have spawned is like these counterculture religions that believe in the Judeo-Christian God, but specifically oppose him. You know, they think that if there was, a creator that created the universe and whatever, that he did a bad job, and that he is jealous, selfish, pitiful, blah blah blah. That's what some people think. So, and they're not religious in the sense of like Judeo-Christian. They're religious in the sense of opposition, which just doesn't even feel religious at that point. Think about it. And then there's some people that are like, oh yeah, I believe, and they're like, but I don't go to church. I don't really think about it. It's like probably okay. Is Satan religious? I think the belief that he exists comes with the belief that also that the Judeo-Christian God, Jehovah, whatever, would exist as well. So, you're asking, would he himself be religious? No. I would say, because that would just be like reality for whatever plane of existence that he would live in, right? That's just like kind of reality. It's kind of like, imagine like right now if I was like, do you believe in like I don't know, Morgan Freeman, right? And you'd be like, he just exists. That's just the nature of our reality, is that we have a Morgan Freeman, right? That wouldn't be religious for you to think that he exists, or believe or not believe that he exists, right? You don't believe in Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. He's an industry plants psyop. Okay. I remember they being appointed in religious debates when one debater assumes they would change if the fact said, Walking dog? Wait, what? What happened? Shiny ho, please. That's what I'm saying. I would love to get a shiny right now. We've gotten one shiny since I moved. I think we've been on a little bit of a dry streak. A little bit. I've been streaming a lot less though, to be fair. So we're probably about on pace. Oh, we only got Audino, right? And yeah, just Audino, because we got Execute before we moved. Thank you for the luck, Moons. I need it. I need it. Wow. Anytime now. Actually, we just hit half odds. We just passed about 4K. So I think this is more encounters than I've done for a shiny since Wooper. Pretty sure. Because Tentacruel maybe was like right around here actually. But was that? Oh, that was it for the music. No more Zelda. Excuse me. Not that. It's sad that when you look up like music that you have to make sure it's not AI. No. Gamers rise up and then Boons rose up. This is insane. I'm not a gamer though, so I don't really feel included with this. You know? I've felt a little motivated. So Amy like handed me the game that she's playing, which is Rhythm Heaven. And like I realized which it's not even that I need to, but I just I haven't done anything like very challenging in terms of like mechanically. I've just been shiny hunting, so maybe we want to kind of play something and get good at it. But I don't know. Maybe when I feel a little bit better, maybe I'll do some like Counter-Strike or something. Maybe on stream, maybe off stream. Probably off stream. Maybe get good at Counter-Strike. Street Fighter 6. I wasn't really thinking of fighting game. If I was gonna play a fighting game, I would play Net Play Melee, to be honest. And I wouldn't play Street Fighter if I was gonna play a fighting game. I'm not a huge fan of Street Fighter. Just the way that they choose to do things. I am a gamer. League of Legends, no. Yeah. No League. What do they choose to do? What do you mean? You mean what makes me not like Street Fighter? I just don't like Street Fighter in general, and especially their direction with modern games. I think that it's too balanced, and you might be like, oh, too balanced. Yes, I think that all the characters being like close to as good and like all being viable, tournament viable, makes for a worse game. And the reason why is that it becomes a lot less about being mechanically good at the game and just, you know, just like being able to play your character and play them well. It becomes about matchup knowledge. Yeah, 2 to 3 OP characters is what keeps Valorant alive. Yeah. So like, the thing is, a lot of people like historically have been like, oh, melee's unbalanced. Well, for one, like nearly half the characters can win the biggest tournaments in the world after years and years of meta development, after the meta's been fleshed out so much. It's one of the most balanced fighting games in existence. And when I say balanced, I don't mean that every character is viable. I mean that there are a lot of viable characters, and that generally the better a character is, the more often you get to play them, so the better you get at that matchup. And it's not to say that matchup knowledge isn't important. It's incredibly important in Melee. But I don't have to learn 70 matchups in order to be considered good at the game. In Ultimate, as an example, you have to learn so many matchups because even some of the worst characters could win a tournament or at least make top 8. And to get to top 8, you have to play those characters. And so you like play a Zelda, and Zelda's like mid-tier or whatever, and you don't know how to play Zelda, and you're just like, you'd play Steve, you just play the overpowered character. Yeah. Yeah, all the characters are so close in viability that it just makes it like kind of boring in a way, you know. And a lot of it becomes like not playing the game well, but matchup knowledge. And I think some kind of a testament to that is that most top players play 2 to 3 characters. Nobody just plays one character and then wins a bunch of tournaments with them. It doesn't really happen with Ultimate. People play multiple characters unless it's Steve. Steve doesn't count. Yeah, Steve's got all kind of wacky stuff he can do, but like I think he's not even really the best character. It's just so insurmountable to play, like, to go to a tournament and to play against 10 Steves and be patient enough to beat them. Zelda and a Samus fan, yeah. They're both reasonable. I think Zelda's like actually bad, and then I think Samus is like mid-tier. How many characters in Melee? There's 26 characters if you count Zelda and Sheik as separate characters. Because people don't play both. They don't do that. Zelda's only good like favorable matchup into top 8, the top 8 characters is Ice Climbers, and it's not even favorable for her. It's just like not that bad because she could just click forward. She does this jump and she can do 2 forward airs in her jump, and it just splits the Ice Climbers up, and then she can just kill Nana with like 3 of her forward airs. So it's just kind of like one thing that she does that works against them. But yeah, and so of the 26 characters, Fox, Falco, Marth, Sheik, Peach, Captain Falcon, Ice Climbers, probably forgetting someone on the top 8 there. Oh, Jigglypuff, Pikachu, Luigi, I think can win a major, absolutely. At least 10 characters. At least 10 characters. And honestly, if you want to do well at a melee tournament, you need to know the Fox, the Falco, and the Marth matchup, and Sheik. And then maybe sort of Peach, and then Falcon, sort of. He just like, depending on your character, like, it's not really like that hard of a matchup to learn. It's just that Falcon's good. You know, you just have to know what he can, like, that basically, he can stay out of your range, and he has very good movement, and like he will combo you to death, and you need really good DI. Like that's all you need to know. It's not even really that much matchup specific knowledge. It's just like you have to play the game really well against Captain Falcon and not make a lot of mistakes. You know? So and then like every character after that, it's like you're not going to come across them often enough for it to really be a problem for you to get very far into bracket or into top 8 without having to play one that is competent enough to beat you. If you're good at the game, right? If you're good at the game, not matchups, right? If you're good at playing your character, you can make it really far, and you could have never played a Ness or a Kirby or a Bowser or a Zelda, or I don't know, like mid-tier, like a Ganon or like a Dr. Mario or something like that. I was enjoyed Mr. Game & Watch. I remember most folk playing Marth, Fox, the 2 best characters in the game. Yeah. And then Game & Watch actually is one of those characters that's not very good. So you don't really need to know the matchup that well. You can kind of just play the game well, and you're good. Like for example, I had never played a Roy player before, like a serious Roy player. But I went to a tournament and I played against this Roy player and I beat him, but I barely beat him. And I was like, what the hell, is Roy like actually good? And then I found out that this is like one of their top players in that region that we went to. It was like in El Paso, and he's like one of the best players. He's like top 5 player in El Paso. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really need to know the Roy matchup because Roy's not that good, you know? So it's like, it makes it more accessible in the sense that like, you don't need to like play against the world's best Pikachu for 20 hours to beat, you know, or you know, for 200 hours to be able to beat Pikachu. Like matchup knowledge is important, but it's just not the most important thing. Whereas I would say with like Ultimate, like having a bunch of characters that you play and knowing how to play against every character in the game is like the 2 things that are super critical. And obviously you need to be good at the game, but it's not as important to just be like mechanically super good and know your character like super well and be like a character specialist. It's more like, oh yeah, I know this person and they play Peach, so like I'm gonna pick this character that beats them, you know. And then, oh, if they have a backup, then I'll see if maybe I have another character that can beat that character. And it's like, you know, it's just like a lot of counter picking, and I'm just not a huge fan of that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just not a fan of it. Like me being good enough at Falco to where I haven't played someone who's good with half of the cast and I could still beat 95% of the people who made those characters is like important to me. I learned a lot of Fox Tech. The most fun was winning with someone that had goofy animations like Game & Watch or Jigglypuff. Yeah. If you don't want to win a major, that's the best route. And like if I played Melee, I'd probably just mostly play Luigi at this point. Like Fox and Falco, I would be more confident at winning tournaments with, but like Luigi just is a interesting unexplored character, you know. Playing with friends as opposed to strangers, I think there's like two dimensions to that. Like I think playing strangers is nice because you get exposure to like different ways of playing the game and different characters sometimes, stuff like that. Whereas with your friends, you can work more on like getting rid of bad habits and have a, you know, more of a fun time with it. Jigglypuff is one of the best characters in the game, by the way, though. She has goofy animations, but she is, like, at minimum top 5. Do you know Simply's name? I heard it at one point. I don't remember. I heard it at one point, but... Ryan. I almost wanted to say Ryan, but like I was like, no, that's Northern Ryan. I was like, that wouldn't make sense. 2 streamers can't be named Ryan. He's genuine Ryan. I don't. Are you saying you think he gave like a fake name? Or he's like, Ryan makes sense for him. Ryan! It doesn't make sense for Simply? I don't know. Hey, Scum. 49, 47 for Blake. Right. I give you. I give you roll. I right back. I gotta walk away. Sorry, Aries distracted me. Chinese Skarmory, whatever 2D sprite you think is best? Okay. Okay. Alright, we might have to do some rearranging. Can we just get O right now so we can go new layout? It's not now. Wait, right now. Wait, before I put the one on the screen. Wait. Right now. No shit. I thought it'd work. I think the Gen 4 sprite is like kind of the go. The Gen 5 is not bad. Let's do Gen 5 animated. Let's do Gen 5 animated. It's because yeah. Alright. Okay, we gotta make room or something. Because we didn't. Okay, wait, let's one more try. To see. We just get it real quick. And then we'll put it on the next overlay. Nice. That's not shiny. I'm just gonna unlock all these and then just like make them smaller, move it around. Who knows how much longer we'll be on this? 9 tails. Okay, so 9 tails, and then get in the corner here, but we make it a little smaller. And then Agumon Digivolve too. Agumon smaller. Move Agumon like here. Go. Where's Mawile? Why don't I see Mawile here? Oh, here. Oh, I'm putting Mawile like right here. I'm sorry. If I ever redeem that, I'm cutting it off. Gonna make you smaller. We'll like alternate like this. So, boop. Was it you who redeemed the Mawile? Wait, who was it? No, I don't think it was. Whoever redeemed the Mawile, I'm sorry, it's getting cut off a little bit. Don't lock them together. There we go. All right, we made like 5% more room. All right, let's do it. Okay, and then we need to lock everything. Okay, and then Skarmory. Pretty good. Is it cool to be good at Tetris? Sorry. Five out of 10. I'm okay at Tetris. I played a lot of Battle Tetris. I played Tetris for friends. They license Tetris, and it's like a website you go to, and you just battle Tetris, and it's cool. I played a lot of that. When I played a lot of it, I had Tetris dreams. .5 out of 10, close enough. Ecstasy of Order, the Tetris Masters. I haven't heard of that one. I've watched some Tetris videos, though, by the A-Game Scout person. It's a real skill, struggling with retro achievements for Tetris DX. How about this? Is it going to have Tetris score a world record or Rubik's? Rubik's for sure. Rubik's is a lot more competitive. With the advent of tapping and like the popularity surrounding the person who got like the wraparound record or whatever, I would say that Rubik's kind of got the W. Tetris more attractive. You like shapes? Yeah, I guess it's only squares with the Rubik's Cube. So it is only squares with Tetris, but at least they're in different assemblies. Instead of a cube. never held a satisfying Rubik's Cube that didn't feel like plastic crunch moving its pieces. Oh, you gotta lube the cube. You gotta lube the cube. You've never had a lubed cube? That's because they lube them. This is a real thing. All my cubes are raw from Dollar General. There's your problem. Two problems there. I only had a 2x2, but it's crunchy out of the box at Christmas. Gotta lube it up. Excuse me. Crunchy out the box was my nickname in high school. Yeah, Rubik's Cube is a copyrighted term. Yeah. You mean like they're in the public domain? The concept might be now. I don't think you can call it a Rubik's Cube, though. It would be like Puzzle Cube or something like that. The Decahedron Rubik's Cube, hey. It's not more difficult than a normal cube, it does take longer to move everything. Yeah, I mean, like, solving it's just kind of like a lot of equations, right, or like tricks. It's like move this, then move that, then move this, and then move that, and then you've moved like the top right corner to this other side, and now everything else is back to where it was, kind of thing. So it makes sense. It's just that at a larger scale. Yeah. Garbage inspired me. I think I might start keeping up with my Turbo Hunt Pokemon General. I suppose this will take a little over 2 months at the rate I'm moving. You know, we'll see. You just get it. You know? You just get it. Did you get to complete the decks? I don't have a Pearl card other than this Japanese one saved there. Erase. Get it for the Scarm for the turds. Actually, I think the average time commit for both of you is about the same. Because Chartwig is in Diamond Pearl or Platinum? All three. Well, it's 160 hours in Diamond and Pearl, and it's 140 hours in Platinum. So, assuming Platinum, using Diamond Pearl. Oh, wait, Scar missed who? Wait, Scarm's doing Turtwig? I thought Scarm was just doing... Yeah. I thought it was going to be between Parasect and Turtwig. Because Parasect, on average, should have about 30 hours of Shiny. 30 hours of Shiny average to hit 8192. And then it's a 1 in 4, so 120 hours. DB just means Dragon Punch to me now? It could mean worse things. Yeah, so 160 hours versus 120 hours. Not even Daft Punk, yeah. So, Garm has the advantage here. Doom is suited for them. They are ridiculously long hunts because of the cutscenes. So 160, 140 hours respectively. That's a long time. Yeah, well, Parasect is a 25%, so that's what's making the difference. So yeah, it's like 13 seconds per encounter, 14 seconds per encounter, but then only 1 in 4 of those is Parasect. So it's more like, you know, a minute per Parasect. Get egg moves if you breed them too. True. You want that. Community sleeping on egg moves? You mean as being like a thing to like go for? With like with shiny hunting, or? You mean like competitively? Perfect Pokemon. Do you mean max IVs? Yeah, nobody will ever get one. Good luck. If you're not RNG manipulating. Getting like pretty much max IV and the nature that you want is like a billion encounters. It's like 1 in a billion. As a novelty, egg moves on a shiny or unique, I would agree. Yeah, it's nice little extra thing to add on. Like, oh hey, I got the shiny, and it has Dragon Dance. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, shiny too. Sheesh. Oh, I thought you were just saying randomly, and I was like, okay. You're bringing over some IVs, so. Hello, large son. Video popped up on my recommended. I saw you were single screen hunter. Want to check you out. Hey, appreciate it, gamer. Hope you had a good time with the video. I got another one cooking up. I'm a slow writer, I guess, though. I did move too, so that's kind of been distracting from writing. I'm an egg hater. That's just me though. I just don't like doing eggs. There's something about it. Something about it gets me. Using something to just check the IVs isn't legit. Watch your video over 20 times. Sheesh. That's a lot of times. That you have that good of a time with it? I obviously had to watch it quite a few times to make sure it was good, but then also after it was out, in order to address certain people's arguments, I rewatched it. I watched a little bit of it the other day too. Sometimes it seems like some of the people who watched it only listen to every third word of it. Yeah, I think a lot of it was that they stopped watching around the like 15-minute mark. Resonated with you, Spooky. That's good. I think it did with most people who watched it. I mean, if you look at the like ratio, so 93% of people liked it. You know, so I think it worked out. Watched it once, but on 20 screens. Wait a minute. very passionate about the community. I wanted to correct some of the issues we're having. I think it's already kinda. Like, I think people feel like they're on, like, more under a microscope. Because it feels like the full arts community is so segregated from other communities, but I think kind of when you get put on the spot like that, and it's like, hey, this is weird, I think people tend to behave better, you know? So I think it's at least having a passive effect. I don't think most people would really change their mind, you know, about the way that they look at things. And that's fine as long as it doesn't affect how they treat other people, right? Like, it's okay to have a preference, and it's okay to have an irrational preference too, to be like, I think that this is my preference because of some objective reason. Like, I prefer to hunt with 5 screens instead of using a shiny charm because I think when I get the shiny, it's more rare. That's objectively not true. But like, if you believe that and then you just like don't try to convince other people of that and you don't let it affect how you treat other people, I really don't care. Right? But as soon as you try to defend that, and as soon as you let it affect how you treat people, whether it be directly, which is very uncommon nowadays, I think I didn't emphasize that enough, that a lot of the elitism isn't as like obvious as it used to be because people care about like the optics and stuff. I sort of touched on that, but I wish I touched on it more. But more importantly, passively, how other people or how people treat each other is the main thing. But I think when people feel like they're under a microscope, they tend to be just like a little bit more self-conscious about the way that they behave and even the way that they think to a certain degree, you know? I like hunting with my toes because of my thumbs, because it's more rare. I mean, if it makes it slower. And well, I mean, and also, like, you could call it a toe hunted shiny, and like nobody else has gotten a toe hunted shiny, that particular one with their toes, therefore it's more rare. Rarity by scarcity at that point. I thought this was funny, but I had 2 people followed in the last 2 days, and it was one large son person, and then it was child celebrity. And I asked Amy, one large son or child celebrity daughter? Which one are you guys taking? Gives feet hunting an entirely new meaning. Oh wait, oh no, not the feet hunting. Oh, but yeah, I was saying, yeah, you're evil twin, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people just watched, like, up to 15 minutes, and they saw the montage, you know? But they just didn't really want to watch anything after. Or, like, right after the montage, when I'm like, hey, this doesn't really make sense, like, why is it like this? They stop right there. They don't really listen to everything that I talk about after that, which I think is all very important. It's just as important as that part, but, yeah. A lot of the criticism I heard was from people that didn't watch, got their info from secondhand sources that cherry picked and skimmed. Yeah. Yo, Fish. You've been breakdancing for so long. Are you okay? They always ask, why are you breakdancing? Never, how are you breakdancing? Think about it. Realize, realize, realize. Yeah, I think that, like, all of the arguing I saw was like arguing with arguments that like people have been making incompetently about the whole situation prior to my video. Like, I had people comment and they were like, yeah, the roles don't affect each other. And it's like, dog, you really gotta watch the video. No, see, the roles don't affect each other. But they affect each other when you use the shiny charm. Like, I got bad news for you. Breakdancing's a lifestyle choice. I don't appreciate you questioning me. My bad, my bad. Sheesh, okay. It is time to go though, gamers. I'm just gonna call it 2 hours. I feel okay. I could stream for another hour, but I would like to continue this pattern of rest. So hopefully I just can not have to work tomorrow. So they've been letting me go home early. Hopefully I can not work tomorrow and rest all day, and then maybe a little stream. That's the plan. I'm gonna do no raid. We're gonna do no raid. No raid on Twitch today. 4520 for Blake. Good on you for being responsible and resting correctly. If I was really responsible, I would have rested again today too. But you know, we're good middle ground. 7076, 1282, 4520, 6731. Gamers, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for chatting, chilling, lurking, whatever you're doing. We should be back tomorrow for Kyogre. We skipped Kyogre last week because I took Friday off, and then we didn't do it over the weekend. So, but yeah, we should be back tomorrow for Kyogre. And yeah, I think we're good. You guys have a good night. I'll see you next time. Later, gamers. Bye bye. Gotta get this stupid whale. Bye bye.